Well, hello everybody. John King here with Summit Funding, and appreciate you listening in to my live broadcast today. And I want to talk to you about how to overcome property condition issues. And I mistakenly, there you go, perfect. I was trying to watch myself and it just started giving me the sound from my phone. Anyway, let me get back to focus, John, focus. So hey, want to talk about property condition issues because that's something I've seen come up a fair amount recently in negotiations where people are trying to get a deal on a property and it runs into an issue. Maybe we've got some roof issues on the property. Maybe we've got some other concerns with other repairs that need to be done, and it's creating some issues with closing the deal. So I want to talk to you about ways we can overcome that. There's a few different ways that we can go about it, and there's one really particular way that is relatively unique to Summit Funding, and I want to really focus on that option as well. So if you have any questions, feel free to post the questions if I'm live. If I'm not live, by the time you watch this, and go ahead and post the questions anyway, and I will respond to them in comments. So I'll start first of all with, there are basically two easy ways to overcome property condition issues. You guessed it, the easy way and the hard way. So really what it has to do with is how much documentation do I need? How restrictive do I have to be on proving who does the work, proving when the work is done, who pays for the work? All of this kind of stuff can be inhibiting to getting a deal done. And so the easy way allows us to move forward relatively quickly, solve the problem, and the easy way is the way that most banks won't allow you to accomplish. But Summit Funding will, and I'll explain that in a second. As a matter of fact, I'll talk about it. The easy way is what we call our Flexible Fix program. And the Flexible Fix program is just that. It's a flexible program that allows you to fix any issues with the property. It is not us funding the repairs. What it is allowing for the repairs to be completed after close of escrow. We just want to get a contractor's bid to show how much the contractor is going to charge. And then we open up an escrow account to hold 1.5 times the amount of the bid. So if there's a new work required for a new roof and it is $10,000, and we have to hold back $15,000 on our Flexible Fix program. But that's a really simple way to close escrow on a property and get the work done within the first couple of weeks after we close escrow. And you become the homeowner right away. You can close a deal, not have to worry about jumping through a bunch of hoops. We don't really care who the contractor is. We're not going to require you to get contractor validation. We're not loaning you the money to do the work. Once the work is completed, that's when we will go back and give back the additional amount that was held that wasn't needed for repairs. So we're holding the extra 50% just in case there are additional repairs that need to get done beyond what the original scope of work was. We don't want to find out that when they tear apart the roof that there's more work to be done and you don't have the money to do it. And so that's why we're going to require that extra 50%. But again, that money is refunded back to whoever gave in that money. This can be funded by the seller, it can be funded by the buyer, it can be funded by transaction partners, the real estate agent. That's not common, but it is allowed. And so we're not worried about who's funding it. We just have to make sure that the account is funded. What is most common is the buyer and seller negotiate on the cost of repairs. Oftentimes the seller pays the cost of repairs. The buyer puts in the money for the extra 50% because technically the seller doesn't want to write a blank check or at least a 50% higher check and let the buyer choose whether that money is spent or not. That's what we commonly see. That's my Flexible Fix program. I don't know of many, if any, other banks that allow that. So this can be done with most of our loan products, and it's really a unique way that with a contractor's bid and underwriting approval, I can close escrow very, very quickly. The other option is to do a renovation loan. And so a renovation loan can be done as FHA or conventional. I've got another video that I did a few months back about renovation. I'll post that in the link in the comments so that you can find that one as well. But renovation loans are a great solution, way more complex, because a renovation loan requires that we get a complete bid from the contractor, itemized room by room, line by line, on all the work that has to get done. We have to validate the contractor's licensing. We have to validate the insurance coverages by the contractor. Most individual or small contractors aren't going to get us the paperwork that we need. They aren't going to have the coverages that we need. And so it becomes a more cumbersome process. The great news with the renovation loan is we're financing those repairs into your loan, and we can actually loan you based upon what the house is worth after the repairs are completed, versus a flexible fix program does not allow me to base. First of all, it doesn't let me finance the repairs. It also does not allow us to do the work. It doesn't allow us to finance the repairs. And so you've got, on the flexible fix program, a smoother process, but you cannot use the after improved value. So that's the benefit of the renovation loan, is you can base the loan on what the house is worth after you do the work, even though the work hasn't been completed yet. So a lot of options there. Again, my most important purpose today is to focus on the difference between the flexible fix program and a traditional renovation loan. I can do the flexible fix on any loan program that we've got with a couple of minor restrictions. The renovation loan is specific to FHA or conventional. You're typically paying higher interest rates on the renovation loan, and it is a more complicated process to get your contractor approved, a more complicated process of draw payouts, etc. So call me if you have questions. I'm happy to help explain all of the different choices to you, and I'm really looking forward to taking great care of you or anybody you know who needs outstanding service. So thanks again, and have an absolutely wonderful day. Bye-bye.